One word to describe competing for SFU is tradition.
My word is success.
Determination.
Experience.
Inspiring.
One word to describe competing for SFU is excellence.
It is family.
Passion.
My word is pride.
Opportunity.
My word is patriotic.
I am Sophie Swant.
I am Adam Jones.
I am Peyton Smith.
I am Justin Guerin.
I am Victoria Saunders.
I am Braden Charlton.
I am Michaela Guerrero.
I am Graham Miller.
I am Christine Howlett.
I am Adrian Vanderhelm.
I am Michelle Waters, and we are proud to be on Canada's NCAA team.
And good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to the West Gym at Simon Fraser University. It's Thursday night and time for Clan men's basketball in the GNAC. Visiting today from Ellensburg, it will be the Central Washington Wildcats. First of two games here this weekend for your Simon Fraser University Clan. The upcoming game, January the 6th, Saturday, Northwest Nazarene. The Nighthawks will be in as well for another 7 o'clock start. Both of them, of course, on Clan TV. And we hope you'll enjoy tonight's broadcast. I'm Howard Samura from Varsity Letters, and we thank you for joining us here live from Burnaby Mountain, wherever you may happen to be on the World Wide Web. Simon Fraser, of course, the only non-U.S. team in the entire NCAA. It's officially 2018, and before we go any further, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. And the Clan men's basketball team will open this new year with 3 home games here in the West Gym, of course, beginning with tonight's game against Central Washington. More on the visitors from Ellensburg in just a moment, but a quick recap of the games last week, and we hope games that obviously will begin to define what the Simon Fraser University Clan men's basketball team is all about, coming up so close in a heartbreaker last Saturday. But first off, last Thursday, Simon Fraser losing 82-66 to St. Martin's in Lacey, Washington. The Saints never trailed in the game. They built a 44-29 halftime lead, and although the Clan got to within 7 points 4 minutes into the second half, it's as close as they would get. Senior J.J. Pankratz having a great season, leading the team in scoring. Led them that night as well, 16 points on 17 of 15 shooting. 9 rebounds as well. Tyrell Lewin with 13 points and 5 rebounds. Kadar Salam, the guard, with 11 points as well in the loss. 2 nights later, Simon Fraser dropping, and the best way to put it, our heartbreaker, to Seattle Pacific. They fall 98-93 in overtime. The Clan with a chance to win it on the final possession in regulation, but they turned the ball over with 2 seconds left in the contest. Pankratz once again leading the way, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Isaiah Sherman-Newsome, 22 points on 8 of 10 shooting. He hit 5 of 6 from downtown. Well, Michael Provenzano, Salam, and Othniel Spence each with 14 points. And as our producer Gabe Lynn points out, worth noting that Seattle Pacific with 41 free throw trips in that game compared to just 10 by Simon Fraser. And that led to 31 points from the line for the home side in that contest. So that triggers obviously one of the big keys to this game. How aggressive can Simon Fraser be with the basketball in the early stages of this game? They really do need to make a statement in terms of that department here against Central Washington tonight. With a pair of losses, the Clan now sitting at 7-5 overall on the season. More importantly, 1-3 in the GNAC. The team will look to get back on the winning track tonight against Central, who are led by their 24-year head coach, Mr. Greg Sparling. The Wildcats will enter tonight on a 4-game win streak. 2 of them against GNAC opponents, Montana State Billings and Northwest Nazarene. Central Washington was last in action on December the 30th in a non-conference game against Linfield. They beat the Wildcats 63-56, improved their overall record to 7-4, and they come in with a 2-2 record in a crowded early season race in the GNAC. Hopefully we'll get those standings up at some stage here for you to look. A bunch of teams, you know, trying to define themselves here early in the race, and Central Washington one of those teams. Last season, the Wildcats beating Simon Fraser twice, handing the Clan a 97-85 loss on January the 19th, then picking up a 90-76 win in Ellensburg on February 18th. I believe that was seniors night in Ellensburg, the final home game of the season for Central Washington last season, and they came through with a decisive victory there. Look for Khalil Shabazz, Jawan Stepney, and the big man Fuquan Niles. The double-double man in action at 6'11" should be a major factor here for Central Washington against a more guard-oriented Simon Fraser team. And a lot of scratches for Simon Fraser. And they will be going with an 8-person rotation today. Bungani Moyo and Bowen Bakken not in the lineup today for Simon Fraser. The starters will be Kadar Salam, Isaiah Sherman-Newsom, Michael Provenzano, JJ Pankratz, and Tyrell Lewin. Off the bench, Othniel Spence, Jordan Muir-Kyung, and Kadar, and check that, Spence, Muir-Kyung, and Alex Vrangis, the Centennial Centaur product, will be the 3 off the bench. So an 8-person rotation for Simon Fraser in this game today. For Central Washington, the starters will be Khalil Shabazz, averaging 15.7 points per game. Malik Montoya, another guard, a 6'2 junior. Jawan Stepney, averaging 11.1 points per game, a senior out of Kent Ridge High School in Kent, Washington. Jerome Bryant, the 6'7 senior forward out of Cathedral Prep in Los Angeles. And as we mentioned, Fuquan Niles, and not a double-double there, but 11.2 points, 8 rebounds a game for Fuquan Niles, the 6'11 senior center. And of note, 3 Rainier Beach products in this lineup. They are Shabazz, Niles, and Sage Woodruff, a 6'6 senior forward. I'll check that, rather. That's Naeem Ladd. And Ladd actually is a scratch today, along with Drake Rademacher, Austin Houts, and James Moore. So Central Washington in town to face Simon Fraser here today. And talked to many, and a good feeling that if Simon Fraser can maintain their poise in the early going, give themselves a chance to be in this basketball game, that this is one of those games coming off the heartbreak of the loss at Seattle Pacific, a great opportunity to right the wrong there and get back on the winning track here in the conference. And this Simon Fraser team emerging talent-wise, a lot more able to muster their forces in the late going as compared to last season. And as that wave continues to build here with Simon Fraser, if they can look at that loss as a bunch of positives that just didn't end right, they're going to, do well heading in against Central Washington. So that clearly is the hope here. As we get to about 1:15 before the horn and the whistle, Simon Fraser gathering underneath their basket to rev themselves up and get ready for the basketball game. They're coached by Mr. Steve Hansen, the former Port Coquitlam Terry Fox Ravens High School head coach. The assistants, Sean Shook and Brett McDonald. As we mentioned as well, for Central Washington, the head coach Greg Sparling, a Central grad, now in his 24th season at the helm of Central Washington. So the longtime skipper leading his team as they look to go above 500 in the conference tonight. The officials come by our minor officials table here before the start of this basketball game, and we'll look to see, as we talked off the top, how aggressive can Simon Fraser be in the early stages of this basketball game. Certainly can't be passive, and if we're going to measure free throw trips, getting outdone at the free throw line by as many trips as they did last time out, it's going to be a key. So we will take a short break here. Simon Fraser, Central Washington on Clan TV. We'll be back after the anthems for the starting lineups in the opening tip right here from the West Gym.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, basketball fans, and welcome to tonight's game in the West Gym between the visiting Central Washington University Wildcats and your Simon Fraser University Class. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and please remove all caps for the playing of the American and Canadian national anthems.
And welcome back, everybody, to the West Gym. The anthems signal the start of the player introductions here now as we get ready for Central Washington, Simon Fraser University. Khalil Shabazz, Malik Montoya, Jawan Stepney among the Wildcats being introduced in the starting group as well. Jerome Bryant, number 29, and the big man, number 42. There he is, Fuquan Niles, right in front of our broadcast location. Now time to introduce the starting lineup for the Simon Fraser University Clan, sitting with a 1-3 record in the GNAC and really looking to make a statement here at home against Central Washington. And the point guard, he's Michael Provenzano, the Lake Superior State transfer out of London, Ontario. Dynamic throughout and emerging as a real fan favorite here as Michael comes by our minor officials table. Tyrell Lewin as well, the 6'6" junior out of Toronto, Ontario, getting his introduction. Kedar Salam wearing number 11. He's a 6'3" senior guard and a transfer from the University of British Columbia. Isaiah Sherman-Newsom wearing number 14. What a valuable member of this group Isaiah Sherman-Newsom has proven to be. And the last man, the senior from Yale Secondary right here in Abbotsford, British Columbia. It's JJ Pankratz, leading the team in scoring this season and having a terrific senior season. And we'll talk a lot about number 22 as the night progresses. But JJ Pankratz has endured throughout his Simon Fraser Clan career, from Coach James Blake now to Coach Steve Hansen. 3 coaches in total over his career. He's endured and in his senior season and among the top players in the conference, and he will wear number 22. Pankratz averaging 15.6 points per game, as well as 7.3 rebounds as we get set for the opening tip. And that will be Pankratz jumping against Fuquan Niles, as we mentioned. Simon Fraser with just 3 players on the bench. They have an 8-person rotation here in this basketball game. That's Jawan Stepney. He's a double-digit scorer for Central Washington. Malik Montoya now guarded by Provenzano just outside the arc. Central Washington wearing the black out of Ellensburg, Washington. And the drive and dish from Fuquan Niles right into the Clan bench, so a turnover there. And of course, Simon Fraser and Central Washington, huge rivals from their NAIA days when guys like Stan Stewartson and Jay Triano were coaching this team. Central Washington, one of the leading lights in the NAIA for a very extended period of time. Here's Provenzano now to Pankratz. Salam wants some penetration. He goes into the paint, but he's going to get blocked there by Montoya. And the ball out of bounds off the Clan, so it will be Central Washington basketball. A good sign there, though. Simon Fraser in their first offensive series trying to get to the rim. And as we mentioned, just 10 free throw trips in their last game. That heartbreaking overtime loss at Seattle Pacific last week. It's Montoya. Malik with a jumper. It's going to go over the rim. A tip drill underneath is going to go to Stepney. High arcer in and out, and a rebound there by the Clan. Lewin gets Provenzano out, but loses the handle there for a second. Gets called for the travel. Tough break there for Simon Fraser. Bit of congestion there as Provenzano and Pankratz collided. So a little bit more spacing on the floor next time down for Simon Fraser will help that offensive set. Here's the Wildcats now. Stepney. Jerome Bryant had the basketball there. A view obscured. A shot up and a rebound by Lewin. Provenzano very quickly down the floor to Salam. Kedar pivoting, looking for an open man. He's going to skip it, but they're going to call the violation there and the turnover. So credit the defense there, Central. They got a block on the first possession, a travel on the second, and this time solid defense, basically suffocating the outlet options for Kedar Salam. Game remains scoreless, 2 minutes in. There's Bryant to Shabazz. Back to Stepney. Drive is stripped of the basketball, and Provenzano now And Michael with a great handle, but he loses control of the basketball. And the foul being called against Khalil Shabazz, the Rainier Beach product, averaging 15.7 points per game, the leading scorer for this Central Washington team. Simon Fraser with a new shot clock now, and a jump shot for three is going to fall. And Kedar Salam will get the scoring underway, knocking down a triple following that foul against Shabazz. So a turnover generates a foul against their top player, and they knock down a three-pointer, so good job there for Simon Fraser. That ball, though, pivoting all over the place. And Niles underneath scoops it up, and an easy deuce for number 42. As we mentioned, 11 points and 8 rebounds a game for Fuquan Niles. Salam with another three ball, this time just shy of the mark. Shabazz to Niles, he is going to get it back. Salam out guarding him as Niles drives into the paint. The kick to Niles. Fuquan with a nice move and a little hook shot that's not going to fall. Loose ball scooped up by Sherman Nusip to Provenzano. Salam again with the basketball, goes right to the rim, draws the contact, and foul getting called against Fuquan Niles. And it is exactly what Simon Fraser needs to be doing here, establishing that aggressive play to the basket in the early going. Had a great chance to sit down with our producer, Gabriel Lynn, before the game, and Gabe was telling me, wow, they got to get more aggressive getting to the basket. He's breaking the plays down, not only putting us on the air, but coming up with the coaching strategies as well. And clearly Simon Fraser doing a good job there as Salam steps up, knocks him down. He's got all 5 of the Simon Fraser points here, a 5-2 Clan lead in the early going. Here is Montoya, back to Stepney. Now Bryant out to Shabazz. Shabazz draws a double team, rotation, 13 on the shot clock. Jumper is going to fall, and that's Jerome Bryant knocking down the big three-pointer there. Jerome Bryant, as we mentioned, a 6'7" senior out of Los Angeles, California, Cathedral Prep. So the heavy West Coast flavor on this Central Washington team. JJ Pankratz getting called for the travel there. Central with a chance to take the lead in this possession. Bryant just hit a three. He's going to give it up this time, and they'll crank another long ball from the corner, and again, Malik Montoya this time. 6'2" junior out of Federal Way in Seattle. Knocks down the big shot for a 3-point lead. So the three ball playing a big role here for Central the last 2 times down the floor. Shot clock is now down to 6. And Central showing a bit of a zone look there to choke off those driving lanes. A timeout called on the floor. We'll take a short break as well. The score, Central Washington 8, Simon Fraser 5. Back with more from the West Gym in just a moment.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is passion. Because to accomplish anything, you have to work for it. You need to love to work for it. My passion for basketball drives me to dedicate everything I have to it, day in and day out. I am Graham Miller, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's basketball team.
And welcome back to Clan TV here. The top of Burnaby Mountain, Simon Fraser University, the Clan trailing Central Washington 8-5 About 4.5 minutes into our first of 2 GNAC men's basketball games this week. Hope you'll be with us on Saturday as well on Clan TV. A 7 o'clock tip-off with Northwest Nazarene in town. Simon Fraser 1-3 in the GNAC. Central Washington wearing the black 2-2. But the Wildcats have winners of 4 straight basketball games. They played Linfield out of conference and came through with a win there just before the start of the new year. As both teams open 2018, a 4-game win streak on the line here for Central Washington. In black, they've got the ball right now. Shooting 3 of 8 from the field in the early going. High-low underneath Bryant to Fuquan Niles, and they run it to perfection to get the easy deuce underneath. So big to big proved successful coming out of that timeout for Central Washington. Here's Provenzano, the nice drive and dish underneath to Tyrell Lewin. Clan draw to within 3. Simon Fraser was 1 of 3 over the first 4.5 minutes from the field, and the only basket coming on a drive, or rather a jump shot from Provenzano, Salam. There's Lewin, back-to-back baskets for number 23. Lewin doing a good job. 2 quick baskets there. Central pulling the trigger with Shabazz off the mark there. The whistle blows. Michael Provenzano of the Clan getting called for the foul, his first of the game. Second, check that first team foul for Simon Fraser, who trailed 10-9. Central with a new shot clock inbounding. Sage Woodruff has now checked into the game wearing number 3. As well, Mark Rogers wearing number 1. It's Stepney. Dish, the jump shot. High archer is going to fall there, and that's number 20, Malcolm Kola, a freshman out of Federal Way, Washington, 6'6" freshman with a nice shot there. Kola makes it 12-9 for Central Washington. Salam, the drive and the pullback shot. Tough shot there. Just a little bit shy for Kadar Salam. Smaller lineup for Central with Niles on the bench. But still good size at the guard spots. Jumper there is off the mark from Montoya. And Provenzano now pushing the pace for Simon Fraser. Sherman Newsom, whose name we haven't called a lot of. He's in the starting group but hasn't had a chance to exert himself. Here's Provenzano finding Lewin underneath, and the hook shot doesn't go for 23. He's battling hard underneath. Great job by Tyrell Lewin to chase down that loose ball off the miss. And Simon Fraser will get a new shot clock and a chance to set up a game, this time with Salam on the wing. Kadar working off the Lewin screen as he drives into the paint, puts up a angled left-hand shot that gets blocked, triggering transition all the way down the floor, and a tough miss there for Stepney, who was forced to rush the shot and couldn't finish. Hyper tempo right now as Provenzano comes right back down the floor and deposits a bucket to make it 12-11. So Simon Fraser hanging tough here against Central Washington. Stepney again. Shot clock is down to 10. The jump shot is going to bounce off the iron from Woodruff, and again signaling some transition down the floor. Here's Pankratz to Salam. JJ's got it back, averaging 15 a game, and he takes it hard. Take a look on their Clan TV replay. The foul there being called against Malik Montoya, and if you want to read a lot into a short replay, I'll tell you this much. That physique that JJ Pankratz has brought to the Clan roster this year is how that is created. He is so strong, and you put that great guard package together as we take another look at a replay here. He powers his way through the opposition, and really, Montoya just bounced off of him. Gets called for the foul. And that is the best thing you can say about JJ Pankratz this year. Not only is he leading this team in scoring, he's brought a physical presence. And on a team that might be lacking some height down low consistently, Pankratz is a guy who can go in there and play multiple positions. And if they need him to bang at a forward spot, he's going to be there, but facing the basket is dangerous as ever, as you saw in that replay, as he takes it hard at Montoya. Timeout on the floor now as we wind our way through to the midway mark of this opening half of play. Othniel Spence wearing 0 now on the floor for Simon Fraser, joined by Sherman Newsom wearing 14, Provenzano 20, Pankratz 22, and Lewin number 23. Tyrell Lewin with back-to-back baskets and a chance to make it 3 baskets in a row. Couldn't get the make, but grabbed a nice offensive rebound. So number 23 showing some great hustle in that Clan starting group. Here's Sherman Newsom. JJ puts his head down and drives, and that is a tough shot to regain your balance with defenders hanging all over you, and what a great basket there as Pankratz puts Simon Fraser on top, 13-12. Floater is going to fall though, and a great job there from Mark Rogers, the LA native out of Cathedral High School. Quick step in the paint there and a floater to give the Wildcats a 1-point lead. Sherman Newsom jumps and knocks down the jumper there. That ball punched out to him effectively. Simon Fraser finding high quality shots and taking a 15-14 lead. The drive by Rogers underneath. And it looks like we're going to get a blocking foul called against the Clan, likely Lewin. Indeed, Tyrell Lewin will get called for the foul. As you look at that replay, Lewin throwing himself in the fray to stop the penetration. And we talked about those free throw trips either way. Simon Fraser a lot more aggressive here as a nice trap comes, and a great job there by the Clan. Central Washington is going to call a timeout to get out of that. We'll take a short timeout as well. Simon Fraser 15, Central Washington 14. More in just a moment from the West Gym.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is pride, because every year my teammates and I push each other to do more than the year before. The amount of dedication and energy we have invested has propelled us to become a rising force in the NCAA. I am Michelle Waters, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's golf team.
And welcome back to the West Gym. Howard Samura here at Clan TV. We've got a dandy here in the opening half. Simon Fraser hosting Central Washington, the home team, with a 15-14 lead. And right back to action, Central Washington with the basketball and Mark Rogers. Coleman Sparling wearing number 23 on the floor as well. Rogers to Kola, back up to Mark Rogers. Puts up a 3-ball at the shot clock buzzer, and it doesn't go. Ooh, and is the foul getting called against Sherman Newsom? We'll see what happens here. Ooh, Provenzano getting called for the foul. And that'll be... yeah, that's Michael Provenzano's second foul of the game. And a tough break there, defended well. They've got a foul underneath the basket. Here is Woodruff, number 3. Sage tries to split a double team as he goes and plays it off the glass. And a great job there from Sage Woodruff to make it 16-15 Central. Simon Fraser wants the answer here. It's Pankratz. Takes it right to the basket strong, and they're going to call a goaltend there. Great job as JJ Pankratz takes it hard to the basket. No question about the call there. And Simon Fraser, as we take a look on that replay, getting called for the goaltend. That ball on its downward arc to put the Clan up 17-16. Provenzano with those 2 fouls will take a spot on the bench. Jordan Muir-Kang now on wearing number 5. He's a junior transfer out of Bellevue Community College, a Seattle native. Jordan Muir-Kang wearing number 5 for Simon Fraser. That's Sage Woodruff finding a sweet spot in that zone and a nice turnaround shot off the window. And the lead's changing hands on every possession here. What a great start we've had to this contest. 18-17 Central. Simon Fraser with the basketball. Pankratz knocks down a jump shot. JJ comes to a stop and knocks down the medium range jumper. And a great job there from Pankratz, who just scored on that goaltending assisted call. So Pankratz started to heat up here. Clan with a 19-18 lead. Down to 9:33 remaining in the opening half. Thanks for joining us again here on Clan TV. Kola guarded by Lewin. Turnaround effort well off the mark, and the rebound by Kadar Salam. Fuquan Niles will check in at the next stoppage, as will Alex Franges for Simon Fraser. Here's Muir Kyung with the basketball. Playing catch around the perimeter. Shot clock down at 10 as the jump shot up and off the mark by Pankratz. JJ not close there. Central will pull up at the other end. Too strong as well on the jumper there from Rogers. Or check that, Sage Woodruff. Muir Kyung running the point, number 5, just checked into the game. Salam on the wing working off the Pankratz screen. Spence back up top. Simon Fraser finding issues again, trying to get to the basket. Shot clock's now down to 8. Jordan Muir Kyung with the basketball. They're going to have to work it down to 5. Tough shot contested in traffic. Simon Fraser can't get the rebound as well. So great defense there from Central to shut down any kind of quality scoring opportunity for Simon Fraser. Rogers' little crossover move to the free throw line. Looking underneath. Ooh, and the foul is going to get called against Lewin. It's going to send Malcolm Kola to the free throw line. As we mentioned, Michael Provenzano, you see him there, sitting on the bench with 2 fouls. Isaiah Sherman-Newsom as well really hasn't been able to get into a groove here, and he's a huge part of what this Clan team does offensively. Kola steps up to the free throw line, knocks down the first, ties this game at 19 as Alex Franges comes in, an energy player. Playing his first season out of Centennial Secondary in Coquitlam. His high school coach, Rob Solero, in the crowd. I was talking to him before the game, and they're building some nice things at Centennial. And Coach Solero here to see his former high school star, Franges, in action. Spence, Muir Kyung. Salam, there is nowhere to go. Salam spinning, turnaround shot, can't get the roll. Underneath, what a great job by Alex Franges. He comes off the bench, gets an offensive rebound and a putback. So 21-19 the score. Franges with a nice basket underneath. And he's an energy guy. Spinning move off the window doesn't go. And Franges there getting some fingertips in the fray. Very important for Simon Fraser. There's a timeout on the floor, but we'll keep it right here. Simon Fraser with a 21-19 lead and some great energy from Alex Franges. Clan running into some early foul issues within that starting group, and they bring in their energy rebounding guy, Franges, and he does a great job to get that offensive rebound and the putback. We do, of course, want to say thank you to all those who helped bring Clan TV to the air. And we'll start off by mentioning the SFU Spirit Shop. They have SFU branded clothing and merchandise. They're proud to support SFU athletics. They are located at the Burnaby campus in the Maggie Benson Center. You can pick up your SFU athletics swag today. The Charter Bus Lines as well, the official motor coach of SFU athletics. They're proud to support SFU football and all Clan teams. Charter dedicated to providing safe and comfortable transportation to your games throughout the Pacific Northwest. Of course, you can visit them at charterbuslines.com. And of course, near and dear to my heart, my project, Varsity Letters. Hope you will check out varsityletters.ca. Trusted source for high school and university sports news in British Columbia. The website constantly updated, and some stories setting up high school and college basketball games throughout the region on the site right now at varsityletters.ca. Some of the numbers we can run through in this contest, as we mentioned, Simon Fraser with that 2-point lead. Simon Fraser shooting 9 of 17 from the field. That's 53%, pretty impressive for the Simon Fraser clan. They're 2 of 2 from the free throw line and holding their own on the boards. Leading scorer JJ Pankratz with 6 points. We'll get to the Central Washington numbers in just a second because they've got the basketball now coming out of that timeout. And Rogers cross-court pass for the 3, and it will knock it down with Cameron Williams. The Redondo Union freshman, the LA native, knocking down the big shot there, 21-21. Looks like Khalil Shabazz, the leading scorer for this Wildcats team, will check into the basketball game. Here's Spence, quick move by Othniel on the turnaround move, but it gets knocked out of bounds. So Simon Fraser basketball with 16 on the shot clock. We mentioned off the top, Simon Fraser going with an 8-man rotation today. And thus far, all 8 have seen the floor. Simon Fraser turning the ball over. There was a collision as he attempted the inbounds play. Othniel Spence getting called for the foul, his first. So Central Washington now with the basketball and a chance to take a lead here with 6:45 remaining in the opening half of play here from the West Gym. 2-2 Central Washington, 1-3 Simon Fraser. Ball reversal and the jump shot there by Bryant is off the mark. Rebound though underneath by Fuquan Niles, and when the big man gets it in his sweet spot, a tough break there because Kadar Salam has no option but the foul. So Kadar taking his first foul of the game, and he's been dynamic over the last 2 seasons for this Simon Fraser team. A shot maker, and a guy who, when he gets hot, can be amongst the most effective offensive players in the conference. Forced a foul there as Niles steps up to the free throw line. Great form there from 42. He knocks them both down, the Rainier Beach product. Fuquan Niles. Of course, his Rainier Beach teammate as well is there. And Khalil Shabazz wearing 0. Here's Pankratz. Bryant got out there aggressively on the perimeter to guard. And look at how they are digging in. They know they just have to prevent that guard penetration here. It's going to be key. Shot clock down to 5. Mir Kyung was looking for Vranjes. The ball gets turned over. And here's Shabazz leading the Wildcats down the floor. Sloppy play here, but they maintain possession. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Mir Kyung with a great job there to knock it out of bounds. It'll be Central ball with 19 on the shot clock. Sherman Newsom will check into the game for Pankratz. So this lineup, very guard-oriented with the exception of Vranjes, who's got the unenviable task of trying to slow Fuquan Niles. Well, actually, they switched that up, and now Sherman Newsom guards the big man. Vranjes collides through the floor with Shabazz. Bryant with a 3-ball, bingo, knocking down the big triple from downtown, and a 5-point lead, among the largest of this basketball game. This is a danger area for Simon Fraser, 5:20 from the half. They can't let this slip away. They've got to get tough. And if they're not going to find ways to score, they've got to find ways to keep this margin where it is or less. Here's a drive on the baseline by Newsom. The kick, Mir Kyung for 3. Ooh, off the top of the goal. And here comes the fast-breaking Wildcats looking for an opportunity. Shabazz, a big step into the paint. His shot comes up short. Underneath, can't get the finish from Malik Montoya. And it's a battle for a loose ball. What a great job Vranjes does against 2 Wildcats. And the possession arrow is going to give Simon Fraser the basketball. So great hustle from Alex Vranjes, number 34. Central Washington has dialed up the defense. It's a low-scoring first half on its own, but Central has been suffocating in the half court the last few trips down the floor. Simon Fraser cannot find any real estate. Vranjes will come out of the game. Pankratz will come in. What a great job number 34 did in his stint on the floor. Alex Vranjes with With a short bench, they need a number 34 to come up big, and he has done just that in the opening half of play. Mirakyung running the point. As we mentioned, Provenzano sitting with a couple of fouls here. They want to keep him fresh for the second half. The drive, the dish. Pankratz had that shot. Partially blocked. Salam, tough angle underneath. Kadar can't get it. And Shabazz with the rebound. As we mentioned, Khalil Shabazz at 15.7 points per game leads this Central Washington Wildcats team in scoring. Entry underneath to Fuquan Niles, and they just have to stop the big man from getting his touches. Right in his office, the largest lead of the game now, 7 points for Central Washington at 28-21. Pankratz thought about it. He will drive and dish. They'll kick it around, and Kadar for three, and it rattles home for Salam. Big shot there for Kadar Salam to make it 28-24 as we go under 4 minutes remaining in the half. We'll see if that doesn't loosen things up next time down the floor for Simon Fraser. They had to get something happening. They were in a massive offensive funk, and they get the three ball from Salam. Here's Bryant. Great look underneath. Niles with his back to the basket. Pankratz trying to hold the fort, and JJ does it. He holds Fuquan from scoring. But a no-look pass and a missed jam underneath from Fuquan Niles. He took the no-look pass and wanted to flush it home, but he's unable to do it. And as Jordan Mirakyung comes down the floor, a foul called. And Montoya getting called for the foul there. But a great job by Simon Fraser. And you can see the matchups that we're talking about here. It would be great to take a look at that as you see JJ Pankratz having to guard the 6'11 Niles down low and does just enough to keep him off his game. And even though Central Washington able to get that loose ball and a great no-look pass fired underneath, Niles wanted to make a statement with a windmill flush. And it didn't happen for Central Washington. So Simon Fraser doing a good job there to wrest a little bit of that momentum away from the visitors from Ellensburg. And with 3:21 remaining, 28-24 our score. To run through some of the numbers, Simon Fraser shooting 47.6% from the field, 10 of 21. Central Washington taking a lot more shots, 11 of 30, shooting 37% from the field. Wildcats led by the 8 points of Fuquan Niles. As well, 6 points from Jerome Bryant, both of them triples for the big man. For Simon Fraser leading the way, Kadar Salam with 8 points, 6 points for JJ Pankratz, 4 points for Tyrell Lewin, and 2 apiece for Isaiah Sherman-Newsom, Michael Provenzano, and Alex Ranges. As we come out of that timeout, Simon Fraser with 27 on the shot clock. Mirakyung, the only starter not on the floor right now. Great cut to the basket there. And JJ would love to have that one back. And a clean look underneath. Great acceleration there by the Wildcats, Khalil Shabazz. Can't get the shooter's roll though underneath, and Simon Fraser quickly back down the floor in the half court. Head coach Steve Hansen telling his team lots of time here as the shot clock gets down to 15. JJ with a bit of a fake, driving inside and getting fouled from behind. Fuquan Niles is going to get called for the foul. JJ Pankratz got behind him. And Niles with his second foul of the game. Sage Woodruff will check in at the next stoppage here for Central Washington.
Substitution coming for Central Washington, number 3, Sage Woodruff.
2:45 left in the opening half. It's a 3-point game with Pankratz at the free throw line. He's gonna knock that one down. A 2-point game here. Plan really needed to get things going. They have done so, and from a defensive standpoint as well, doing a real solid job here on the floor. Now the Wildcats in the half court. Here's Shabazz, little head fake. Mirakyung doesn't bite. A tough shot on the baseline, off, and a rebound there from Pankratz. And a good job there for JJ to get his team down the floor. Here's Pankratz again with the basketball, powering his way through, and it looks like Bryant's going to get called for the foul. So look at what JJ Pankratz has done his last 2 drives to the basket. Has gotten fouls out of Fuquan Niles, and I believe Bryant got called for that foul. They haven't put it up on the board yet. We'll check that Sage Woodruff with the foul there, but the point taken. JJ's doing a great job here, driving to the basket. It's Rogers now with the basketball for Central. We're down to 2 minutes remaining in this opening half of play. Great take to the basket there. Sage Woodruff right to the rim for the lay-in. Central pushes the lead back out to 4 under 2 minutes remaining. Clan without a double-digit score in this game. Of course, they've only scored 26 points in the half. Here's Mira Kyung with a nice move to the basket. And Jordan underneath with a bit of body language shown there as he twists and turns and gets a layup in tight quarters to make it a 2-point game. Down to 1:30 remaining. Klein would love to get a defensive stop that leads to transition and earn an easy basket. And as I say that, Kadar coming right to the basket and getting fouled underneath, and Kadar Salam will shoot 2 from the free throw line. The foul being called against Mark Rogers. Great anticipation from Salam as he knocks the ball free and heads down the floor. Kadar Salam coming into the game as a 59% free throw shooter on the season, 25 of 42. But he's going to knock both of those ones down with authority to tie the game at 30. What a great job by the Simon Fraser Clan. The Central Washington team, as we mentioned, coming in with a 4-game win streak, a 2-2 record in the conference. And last season dominating Simon Fraser both at home and on the road. Here's Rogers underneath, a fake by Bryant. He's blocked by Pankratz. And here come the Clan down the court with Salam. He'll slow it up to Spence and get it back. 3-ball in the air. Bingo! Knocks it down! Kadar Salam, and it's a lead in the final minute of the first half for Simon Fraser, 33-30. What a great play, and what a clutch shot there from Kadar Salam. Simon Fraser doing a great job to get a steal on the last play. This time, a 3-ball in and out. Tough break for Central as Sage Woodruff put it right in the cylinder, only to have it come right back out. Ooh, a carry being called against Salam, and he wanted some change of pace dribble to try and beat his man off the bounce, but he gets called for the carry. And so Central with a chance to pull within 1 or tie. And about half a second difference between game and shot. A low scoring first half of game. The Simon Fraser Clan showing they know how to hang here against Central Washington. Anthony Bryant facing the basket. He's scored a couple of threes, but a missed dunk. And that's 2 missed dunks in this opening half for Central Washington. Certainly the style points are there, but they would like to have perhaps some feathered lay-ins instead at this point. A couple of misses there. Simon Fraser, 1 second left. Will they get a shot up? And that is good! That's going to go. Oh, they are waving it off! Jordan Mirakim looked to have made the shot. But they will wave it off. They will say no. It's a 33-30 lead for the Simon Fraser Clan. And what a great job the Clan did in that opening half of play. Oh, we get it. Somebody is happening. Okay. Okay. Yes, they are changing. Yeah.
Is it on? Yeah.
Where's my camera?
Choose your camera. Filming it from there, so it's all
Okay. JJ Pankratz, thanks for joining us. Talk about the defense they are playing right now, JJ, and how hard it is to get penetration to the basket.
Yeah, they're packing it in pretty good. We just got to keep attacking, though. not let up. Can't settle for jump shots, but we'll get a second half, I think.
How do you like the poise of your guys to battle off a couple of runs to get back in this game and take the lead?
Yeah, I think we did well. Yeah, we stayed disciplined, stayed in our stuff defensively, but we just got to bear down 20 more minutes.
Last question, the heartbreaker against Seattle Pacific, has that really pushed you guys to give your best effort?
Yeah, definitely. We got to come out strong, we got to finish strong, so we got to get it.
All right, JJ, all the best in the second half. JJ Pankratz of the Simon Fraser Clan. We thank him for joining us here on Clan TV. 33-30 our score. The Simon Fraser Clan with a 3-point lead, and we'll be back with the second half in just a moment here from the West Gym.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is passion. Because to accomplish anything, you have to work for it. You need to love to work for it. My passion for basketball drives me to dedicate everything I have to it, day in and day out. I am Graham Miller, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's basketball team.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Hi, I'm Michael Provenzano, and I'm the point guard for the men's basketball team. You know, basketball players are superstitious. We like to have a routine, and I've never really been into that whole, you know, like, I'm not gonna wash my socks kind of thing. To quote my idol, Steve Nash, he always said, you know, when I get into the lane, I need to find solutions. And I think that's exactly the way that I feel as someone who's a little bit under athletic, maybe not as quick, maybe not as tall. I think I need to be able to find solutions when I get in there and ways to score a little bit creatively. So before the game, I like to go through every kind of situation. You know, I go through my ball handling routine, obviously, which, you know, being a point guard, you got to handle the ball quite a bit. I do my form shooting and stuff, which is an important way to get warm and, you know, sort of get your groove. But I also do very specific shots. I'm always going to get some kind of hook shot in. Floaters, runners, fadeaways, some scoop shots, everything with both hands. And I think that those are some frequent shots that you'll see from me in a game, you know, depending on the situation. What I try to do is I just try to fulfill my role. You know, we've got a lot of guys who are in a lot of different roles, and I think that my job is to facilitate, put guys in the right positions to score, call the right plays, be loud, be a leader. You know, I'm a passionate guy. I think it kind of shows a little bit with, you know, sometimes I get into it, and maybe sometimes I get a little over the top. But I think that is part of my role. Definitely, I have pride in performance. You know, I want to play well. I want to put myself in a position to play as best as I possibly can. And I feel like the best way to do that is to be prepared.
Hi, I'm Tessa May. I'm Kat Dalge. I'm Angelica Kilberg, and we're on the women's volleyball team. Today we're going to be teaching 2 men's wrestlers and 2 women's golfers how to play volleyball.
How I think I'm going to do? Probably really bad, because I never play volleyball. But Tao's going to do pretty good.
No, we're going to kill it.
I think Laura's going to do great today.
I think we're both going to do pretty bad. Golf is very different from volleyball.
Yep.
Okay, toss.
This could take a while. Some wrestling power here.
Oh.
Oh. Nope.
Oh, yes.
That's it. Oh, come on. Be the ball. No! Move into it! Yeah!
Put all of your muscles into it.
I don't got very many.
Yes! Oh!
Oops. Come on, run faster! No!
Oh! Wow, this ball is light. Oh!
Yeah! In!
Oh no! Getting there, getting there. Okay, wait, I'm gonna get one over. Okay. This is the one, I feel it. Yeah! High five.
We're gonna move on to some defense now. The most important thing about defense is effort. Just run for anything, go for everything. Face Tessa. Yeah, there you go.
I don't have knee pads. Oh.
Oh, that's our side, your side.
Whoops, sorry.
Oh no, I'm not getting that.
Oh.
Oh yeah. The jump and bump, love it. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, he's on my side.
Oh.
That's great.
All right, no, I'm done.
So much more cardio than golf.
Then 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
No.
Nope. Boom. Boom.
Yes. Oh.
Oh.
Whoops. Oh.
Sorry.
So like right here? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, one more.
Okay.
All right. I'm out.
Oh, that was really high. Oh no.
Nice.
I'm out of breath.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
My bad.
Oh, high game. All right, let's go team. Yeah. Oh, oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Nice. All right, that's good. Good game. Good game. Good game.
So everyone's serving looked really good. I thought digging to start off with was pretty rough. But you know, our effort was there. We went for every ball mostly. And I think Morgan gets number 1 for digging.
Their swinging was actually a lot better than I thought. They picked up the footwork really easily. Couple goofy footers, but it's pretty good.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for watching. SFU on 2 on 2. SFU.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is tradition. Because year after year, players old and new step onto the court with a unified goal to strive to be the best. It is the belief that maintaining a winning tradition is a competitive battle worth fighting for. I am Sophie Swant, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's basketball team. To me, one word to describe competing for SFU is determination, because I am surrounded by teammates who face adversity but persevere to achieve success.
That persistence motivates and drives me to better myself on and off the mat. I am Peyton Smith, and I am proud to be on the SFU women's wrestling team.
Mental illness is something anyone can suffer from.
It isn't a choice or a weakness, and you can't just snap out of it.
But with support, we can make each other better.
Check in and care for your friends, teammates, or colleagues, and be a good listener for them.
Ask them how they're doing and if you can do anything to help.
It begins the crucial first step of decreasing the stigma so that we can open up a conversation.
Educate yourself about mental health
and help break down the myths and stereotypes.
Together, we can shape the dialogue about mental health within our community.
Welcome back, everybody, to the West Gym. Howard Smurray here, Clan TV. The Simon Fraser Clan with a 33-30 lead at halftime over Central Washington. And boy, I tell you, that last basket by Jordan Mirakyung, we took some looks at the replays, and that was definitely a good basket. The ball had left Mirakyung's hands well in advance of the backboard lighting up. And we are joined now, it looks like, by Clan assistant coach Sean Shook. And Coach, talk about that opening half, what you like about what your team did on many fronts.
I like what we did defensively. You know, guys following the scout, understanding what they're trying to do and trying to take that away. We know Fuquan Niles is a big load inside, but I thought we did a pretty good job on him. He got away a couple times, but contesting shots and rebounding. But on the offensive end, we got to take care of the ball. 7 turnovers, and 3 of those came early. So take care of the ball, execute on the offensive end, and we should be a lot better.
Yeah, and your starters outscored their starters by quite a margin. There's a thought that their starters could get in a groove, and when you talk about Fuquan Niles, I mean, he brings the height. You guys had Sherman Newsom, you had JJ on him, you had Francis on him. What's the plan in the second half?
Same thing. You know, continue to try and take away early, easy catches for him, and you know they're gonna. He's tough. They're gonna get it inside, and I thought we did a good job on Shabazz, but you know there's a guy that's putting up a lot of numbers early, so you know we held him scoreless in the first half. I don't think we're gonna do it in the second, so got to continue to do the things we did in the first half.
And last question: what's the key to getting some dribble penetration in the half court? They zone it up sometimes. They do a lot of things to prevent you guys.
Yeah, you know we'll have a couple counters we're gonna add in right now, and you know they're switching a lot of our penetration stuff and kickouts, so we have to counter with that, and we'll try and do that in the second half.
All right, Coach, all the best.
Right,
thank you. Sean Shook, Simon Fraser University assistant coach, joining us here on Clan TV as we get down to 1 minute and 23 remaining until we start the second half of play, and some numbers we can go through on that board. And look at that field goal percentage for Simon Fraser in the first half of play, 48% from the field. A great consistent effort from start to finish for Simon Fraser. They battled through a couple of lulls. They trailed by 6 or 7 at one stage, battled back, and now lead by 3. And as we mentioned, that basket by Jordan Mirakyung, if we can get a look at that at some stage, and I know we will, a good basket, and we got to hope those 2 points aren't going to matter in the end from a Simon Fraser perspective, as Mirakyung did a great job there of scoring the basket. And he could see the disappointment on his face. He knew he had made that basket. In the replay showing the ball out of his hands clearly on its way up to the basket before the backboard lights up, and that would have been a good basket. So no video replay format in play here at Simon Fraser. GNAC schools can declare at the start of the season what their intentions are in terms of replay. Simon Fraser doesn't have that in place, although certainly the mechanics are here to do that with our production team here on Clan TV. 33-30, and we'll look at some of the scorers in that opening half of play. Just one double-digit scorer in this game, and that is the Simon Fraser senior guard Kedar Salam, who is 13 points, including 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. So Salam scoring from the free throw line with his drives to the basket, but also hitting from the outside as well. He leads the way with 13 points, 8 for JJ Pankratz. On the other side of the ledger, 8 points for Fuquan Niles. You heard Sean Shook talking about number 42, the big man, out of Rainier Beach High School, Fuquan Niles, and his high school teammate Khalil Shabazz was held scoreless. And Shabazz, the leading scorer on that team at 15 plus a game, was held to 0 of 5 from the field and did not get to the free throw line. He's got the basketball right now and surely would love to make amends. There's Bryant on the high-low, this time disrupted, but Fuquan with a bounce tries to flush again and is denied underneath. Shabazz, though, picks up the garbage and knocks down a shot underneath the basket to make it 33-32. So a 1-point game and an answer immediately here from Central Washington. Fuquan Niles going down the floor with a smile on his face, and you know he'd love to get that one back. There is Provenzano with a miss. Lewin with a nice rebound. So Tyrell with an offensive recycle here for the Clan. Sherman Newsom. Isaiah with a drive and a bump, and he gets the nice bounce off the window. And Isaiah Sherman Newsom restores the 3-point lead for Simon Fraser. I want to thank JJ Pankratz and Sean Shook, our guests here over the halftime break on Clan TV. Of course, Northwest Nazarene will be in the house on Saturday. We'll have the call again, 7 o'clock, the tip-off here from the West Gym. Shabazz to Bryant, the step back jump shot is good, and Bryant brings the size, but he is a dangerous shooter. Knocked down 2 triples in that first half in the medium range jump shooting game, also a part of his repertoire, as he shows you there. There is Kadar Salam finding a spot on the floor and knocking down another short jump shot. So 15 points now in the game for Salam, the leading scorer in this contest, number 11. You can hear Steve Hansen, the head coach of the Clan, right in front of our broadcast location, wanting that ball pressure. And certainly Central Washington has done a good job with ball pressure on the perimeter. Here's Shabazz. Finds Niles going right to the basket for the dunk. And after missing on a number of dunks, Niles finally able to flush that home to pull his team within 1. We'll take a replay of the Fuquan Niles basket because a technical foul has been called against Niles. And so Provenzano will step up to the free throw line. Those are tough ones to make. Everyone's behind you, everyone's staring at you, and you knock down a couple for Provenzano. So a great job there for the Clan to make it 39-36. And of course, Simon Fraser will keep possession of the basketball. Baseline inbounds for Sherman Newsom. So Simon Fraser with a 3-point lead at the half. They still have a 3-point lead here in the early stages of the second half. Provenzano showing off that great handle and off the window, and that is Michael Provenzano at his best. He can yo-yo that basketball, lull you to sleep, and drive to the basket. A tough angle bank off the window for Mike P. 41-36 Clan, a 5-point lead. Feeding Niles in the post. Lewin doing his best to hold back the big man. Instead, it's a jump shot there that is just off the mark by Malik Montoya. Simon Fraser doing a job getting stops, and they want to keep getting makes from their perspective. Turnaround shot by Kadar Salam. Tyrell Lewin with a great rebound. Tyrell Lewin off the offensive boards, having a great game here tonight. And he turns around and deposits that ball. I believe that's 8 points now for Tyrell Lewin in this basketball game. 43-36, the 7-point lead, the largest of the game for Simon Fraser. And they have come out with some focus here in the second half. A steal by Salam as he comes down the floor. It looks like a mugging takes place there, and Bryant's going to get called for the foul. He's in there along with Sherman Newsom to help Kadar Salam up off the floor. We'll take a look at that on our Clan TV replay. Kadar with a great eye for the steal, and this time he reaches across his body and gets it as he comes down the floor, and certainly didn't look intentional there. As Bryant, a good sport there to help his foe up off the floor. 25 getting whistled for his first foul of the game. A skip pass underneath the Salam, and Provenzano finds his backcourt mate for the lay-in. The lead now up to 9 points. It's all about focus here for this Simon Fraser Clan basketball team. We talked about that heartbreaker at Seattle Pacific. The three ball being hoisted is off the mark by Sage Woodruff. The big rebound there from Pankratz. Provenzano right down the floor, but right into the hands of Montoya. Quick feed back up the floor, and the lay-in there by Jawan Stepney. Stepney, one of 3 double-digit scorers on this Central Washington team. Here's Provenzano. Pankratz to Lewin up top to Provenzano. Ooh, and trying to feed. Sherman Newsom backing in. And the foul getting called against Central Washington's Jawan Stepney. A foul on the floor. We'll keep it right here. Simon Fraser, as we mentioned, the 7-point lead, the largest of the game for the Clan. And they led by 3 at the half and needed to answer the bell here to start this second half with some energy, some intensity. And we've seen nothing but. Let's take a look at the Clan TV replay right here. And we talked about the Jordan Murick-Young basket, and our producer Gabe Lee doesn't miss anything. And let's take a look here. The key here, look at his hand as it comes up. It's now left his hand, and then the backboard lights up. So clearly, it was a made basket that was missed. And the Simon Fraser Clan would have had a 35-30 lead at the half. Instead, 33-30, but they nonetheless have built it to 45-38. What a great job by our entire Clan TV crew. Our hats off to them. A great job to capture the Jordan Murick-Young basket. And in all those instances, certainly hope that it doesn't mar the finish of the basketball game. These two teams in a timeout right now, and we can take a look at some revised numbers that show Kadar Salam with 17 points to lead all scorers. Simon Fraser shooting 71% from the field in the second half. There's 5 of 7 and doing a great job there. When we look at the other side of the ledger, Fuquan Niles with 10 points to lead the Wildcats. Central Washington has come out and also shot well here in the second half. They're shooting 4 of 7, 57%. But the Clan, most impressively, shooting 53% on the game. Catch and shoot. Off the mark there from Salam. Great rebound by Lewin, and Tyrell Lewin with an offensive rebound and putback. Simon Fraser doing a terrific job here. 3 ball, though, instantly hoisted, is not going to go, and a great hustle play. I believe that was Stepney underneath. Instead, the foul is going to get called against Bryant. As you look on the replay, underneath by Lewin. What a great job of hustling on the offensive glass for Tyrell Lewin. His 4th offensive rebound of the game. And 8 points now for Lewin in the starting lineup, who throughout his Clan career has really battled the consistency to stay foul free and bring energy in the low block. Here's Kadar, little fake, little skip down to Sherman Newsom. Backs his man, and tough shot on the turnaround's not going to go, but Lewin with a great job to recycle the possession. And he gets it to Pankratz. Central, though, will get Stepney down the court. Great job defensively as Provenzano reaches a hand in and knocks it out of bounds. Cameron Williams will check into the game for Stepney. Cameron Williams wearing number 11. Also out there, Coleman Sparling, the 3-point shooter. There's Rogers, cross-court pass to Woodruff. Sparling, the kick across. And Williams unable to knock down that shot. Underneath the basket, though. Great job there off the offensive glass for Jerome Bryant. And he lays it up and in to make it a 7-point basketball game. Clan can't afford any lulls from their perspective, even though Central is going with many of their starters on the bench right now. They miss on the jump shot. And Sparling now coming back down the floor. Williams to Rogers. They enter down low to Bryant. He's going to kick it out to Sparling for three. And they passed up a layup underneath to try and knock down that triple. Unsuccessful as they come right down the floor, and Lewin in flight will lay it up and in. Tyrell Lewin having the game of his life here for the Clan. I believe Lewin now up to 10 points in this basketball game, doing a terrific job that time in transition. So few easy baskets in this game, but Lewin runs the floor hard, rewarded at the end with a layup. Jump shot there is off the mark by Sage Woodruff, and the Clan with the rebound. Ooh, a drive, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Kedar Salam. A tough break for number 11. Didn't see that one coming. Wide-eyed look from Kedar as he talks to assistant coach Sean Shook as a timeout is called on the floor. We'll take a short timeout as well here on Clan TV. Simon Fraser 49, Central Washington 40. Back with more in just a moment from the West Gym. And our apologies there. Blame the broadcaster for that one. That was not a timeout. As a Sherman Newsom roll answers a Central Washington basket. Our apologies to our viewing audience. Not a timeout, just a foul called on the floor. A great shot there as Rogers falls to the floor. He knocks it down. 51-45 the score. So both teams in the zone shooting the basketball right now. But this game adopted a defensive presence in the first half, and that is what is going to win it here. Sherman Newsom with a great change of pace. Ooh, and Lewin, with a bit of a sly smile on his face, tapped it in. Head coach Steve Hansen of the Clan saying the ball came off the cylinder. Did look like it was still in the cylinder, though. And we'll take a look right here. I believe we've got it on the Clan TV replay. Wow. Sherman Newsom with his change of pace dribble, and kind of hard to tell from there, but I think the officials got the call right. We're back to live action though. 51-45, a 6-point game, 12:25 remaining. And Central Washington with the basketball. Sparling to Rogers. Williams down low, battling against Spence. Runs into a double team, goes off the window, and head coach Steve Hansen of the Clan wanted the traveling call there. I think he was right. Instead, the score 51-47, and Central making their run, trailing by 4, with a world of time remaining in this basketball game at 12 minutes. Othniel Spence, the drive into the paint. Runner won't go. High degree of difficulty based on the bodies in the paint on that one. Here's Rogers. He's going to get it back from Woodruff. They go to Cam Williams down low, or turnaround rather, underneath. And that was Sage Woodruff checked that underneath with the basket. We're going to check in on the women's game in just a second here as we take a quick look at that play underneath. 51-49, a 2-point game, and we'll now check in with Western Oregon and Simon Fraser, the Clan ladies, with a 12-point lead, 3:18 remaining in the third quarter. So Simon Fraser on the road tonight in Western Oregon, trying to pull a win out in the start of a 2-game weekend swing. So a solid start there for head coach Bruce Langford and the Clan ladies. Their lead over Western Oregon. This one is going to go right down to the buzzer, the way it's going right now. 51-49. Clan with their largest lead of the game at 9 points. It's now been shaved down to 2, so a big swing there. As Central Washington coming in with that 2-2 record and that 4-game overall win streak, making their run right now. Can the Clan answer? And you think about a 33-30 halftime score. It was all about defense. And if you want to get into a wide open, up and down game, probably not the best way to go here. If you're the Simon Fraser Clan, you want to be defensively responsible. Value your defensive presence and try to maintain the tenor and tempo you were able to in the first half. Simon Fraser battled and battled and battled in that opening half of play, and not only battled but improved their play here in the second half. But of late, it's been all Central Washington, so we'll see what happens here as Jordan Muir-Kyung bringing the ball up the floor for Simon Fraser. Sherman Newsom. Zone look here from Central as Sherman Newsom tries to shoot over the top. Sparling with a rebound. We'll see if the Clan don't show a bit more patience against it next time. Quick pull-up shot there for 3, and Central is going to take a 1-point lead. Taking the lead right back there on a basket from Cameron Williams. Jump shot this time. Spence is going to fall, and Othniel right over the zone. 54-52 Simon Fraser. So Othniel Spence does a great job of knocking down the big 3 ball there. As we mentioned, Simon Fraser had taken a substantial lead here in the second half. Whistle blows, and we're going to call a hold against Spence. His second foul of the game. Off the inbounds. Clan with a 2-point lead here. Sparling turning a corner, looking underneath. Can't find his man, Malcolm Kola. And Simon Fraser back down the floor now. Right to the basket. Great aggressive move there from Kedar Salam. And that is just what the doctor ordered for Simon Fraser. Get back to your early moments in this basketball game when you had in your mind that you had to get to the basket. We'll take a look at the replay here as Salam drives the baseline, contours his body for a nice release on the baseline to draw the contact. JJ Pankratz will soon check into this basketball game, the senior out of Yale Secondary at Abbotsford. And what a difference it makes when Tyrell Lewin gives you the minutes he's given you, and the production in the front court really changes everything about this Simon Fraser team. Salam, a 60% free throw shooter, is knocking him down tonight from the stripe. A good job there for Kedar. 56-52, a 4-point lead as we reach the midway mark of the second half. Here's Sparling for 3. Sparling gets tons of opportunities, hasn't been able to get in there and knock those shots down. Simon Fraser disputing that call, but it will be Central Washington basketball, a new shot clock with 9:59 remaining. Kedar Salam's had a terrific basketball game here for Simon Fraser. 4-point lead right now. Right underneath in a tough angle, but they will score it off the inbounds with Cameron Williams. As we mentioned, Williams, a freshman out of Los Angeles, banking that ball home. Ooh, that zone, dangerous. As Central extends their arms and puts some length and bite into that zone, and right off the miss, they get transition, unable to finish. Here's Kedar, the no-look to JJ. Down the floor, Pankratz will get the roll, and JJ in transition. 58-54, Simon Fraser. Ooh, and a great job by Pankratz, who to draw the charge at the other end of the floor. JJ makes the basket, runs the full 94, and gets it right back for Simon Fraser. What a great job by the senior from Abbotsford. You talk about turning points and what gives you momentum in a basketball game, and JJ Pankratz, you can't do any more for your team than what he's just done in the last 2 series, both offensively and defensively. Shot clock is down at 12 as Spence goes back to Muir King at the top. They work it to Kadar. Shot clock now down to 5, and so Sage Woodruff gets called for the foul there. You see on the Clan TV replay the great job. And now JJ, we didn't see the defensive part, but JJ signaling to his guys, and he runs the floor well and draws a charge at the other end. Kadar is on fire from the stripe tonight. 6-point lead here for the Simon Fraser Clan. Central had come back from 9 down to take a lead, but Simon Fraser counter-punching to build a 6-point lead. Jump shot. And Sage Woodruff does a great job to swish that. Catch and shoot as he fades from 3, 60-57. Central, of course, not going away. And there's a timeout on the floor. We will go away for a brief moment. Central Washington trails Simon Fraser 60-57. More from the West Gym in a moment.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is pride, because every year my teammates and I push each other to do more than the year before. The amount of dedication and energy we have invested has propelled us to become a rising force in the NCAA. I am Michelle Waters, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's golf team.
And welcome back, everybody, to the West Gym. Northwest Nazarenes in town on Saturday, a 7 p.m. tip-off. Catch all the action here on Clan TV. Northwest Nazarene right now in Bellingham playing Western Washington, the undefeated Western Washington Vikings. And Northwest Nazarene coming in at 2-2, trailing Western 43-39. So if that's any indication of what Nazarene is going to bring here on Saturday, should be a great game here from the West Gym. Hope you'll join us then. Here's Pankratz, the catch in the middle, and JJ, can't get the shooter's roll as he flashes through the middle of that Central zone defense. It's Shabazz, the leading scorer, who was held pointless by the Clan in the first half. Rogers inside to Niles, back up top, and it's going to be intercepted. And here goes Spence right down the floor, and Othniel in full flight to lay it up and in for Simon Fraser. A great defensive presence here for Simon Fraser with a 5-point lead. Ever dangerous Central Washington, though, comes in with that 4-game win streak, that 2-2 record in the GNAC. Here is Sparling driving in the outstretched arms, lays it up and in. And Coleman Sparling doing a great job there. He's a redshirt freshman out of Ellensburg, Washington. The hometown kid playing for his Wildcats. And a great move there to get to the basket. Salam step back against Sparling. Bingo! Knocks down the 3! 65-59. Kadar on fire, knocks down the shot. 7 minutes remaining in this basketball game. 2-possession lead here for the Clan as Sparling gives it up to Shabazz. Ooh, a drive by Rogers into the paint. And the foul being called against Jordan Muir-Kyung of the Clan, his second foul of the game, is going to bring Mike Provenzano back into this basketball game. A timeout on the floor, but we will keep it here. Provenzano got those 2 fouls early in this basketball game and sat for large stretches of the first half as we take a look at some replays on the Clan TV. In our moment here to thank again the sponsors for Clan TV. We certainly appreciate everything they do. The SFU Spirit Shop has Clan branded clothing and merchandise, are proud to support Simon Fraser Athletics, located at the Burnaby campus in the Maggie Benson Center. And you can pick up your SFU athletics swag today. SFU, the only non-US school in the NCAA. If you're watching us outside of the British Columbia market, maybe perhaps in the United States or somewhere else around the world, Simon Fraser, indeed Canadian, proudly Canadian, and a member of the NCAA Division II. Charter Bus Lines as well, the official motor coach of Clan Athletics. They support SFU football and all Clan teams. They're dedicated to providing safe and comfortable transportation to games throughout the Pacific Northwest. CharterBusLines.com, the place to go. As well, Varsity Letters, the most trusted source for high school and university sports news in British Columbia. Visit the website today for news, in-depth interviews, and so much more. VarsityLetters.ca. Some of the numbers with 3 double-digit scores now for the Clan. 24 for Kadar Salam, 10 apiece for JJ Pankratz and Tyrell Lewin. And that's substantial when you think about the fact that Pankratz and Lewin can play so much in the front court, and they are combined 9 of 14 from the field for Simon Fraser tonight. Sage Woodruff leading Central as Anthony makes a free throw with 11 points for Sage Woodruff on 5 of 10 shooting. So his 11 points leading the Wildcats. Jerome Bryant and Fuquan Niles each with 10 points. Central shooting 59% in the second half, 13 of 22. The Clan shooting 57%, 12 of 21. And that's up the entertainment factor from these two teams. Here's Provenzano to Spence. Thought about it from 17. Instead, it's Sherman Newsom. The drive, the spin in the paint, the pivot, and the turnaround move off the window. And Isaiah Sherman Newsom, you can package that one. Great job there on pivoting in the paint. Provenzano with a hand, deflects it. The end result, Kadar down the floor to flush it. Kadar Salam with the dunk. And this crowd at Simon Fraser's West Gym is loving it. It's a 9-point lead, equaling the largest lead of the game for Simon Fraser with 6:08 remaining. What a job being done here by the Simon Fraser Clan. Sparling to Shabazz, in and out, great rebound, ripping it away from his opponent was Pankratz, but a loose ball underneath and a tough break for the Clan, but a great job there from Malik Montoya to lay it up and in and cut it to 7 points. Scrappy Central Washington, fully deserving of that basket. Montoya hangs in there after JJ Pankratz skied to rip a rebound away from the Wildcats. Kadar finds his spot and he's just on fire. Salam knocks it down to make it a 9-point lead restored with 5:15 remaining. So much can happen. This Central team absolutely dynamic. Spence is going to get called for the foul there as Shabazz puts on the moves one-on-one. Sherman Newsom and Tyrell Lewin will check into the fray in just a moment for Simon Fraser. Oh, excuse me, that wasn't Sherman Newsom. Tyrell Lewin is checking into the game. Othniel Spence will come out. Boz makes them both, and Anthony, Rogers checks into the game. So Rogers into the game for Khalil Shabazz. As we take a look at the Clan TV replay, just like a wide receiver picking up that pass in transition. It's Salam to the basket, and he rises up for the dunk. No hesitation there, and they come down and knock down a shot. And Kadar, who we just saw on the replay, has just knocked down another jump shot. 74-64, the largest lead of the game for Simon Fraser is 10 points. And it comes right now at 4:43 remaining. Kadar. Simon Fraser women still leading, but that lead chopped down to 5 at Western Oregon. So they are well into the fourth quarter, or just starting the fourth quarter there, as our producer Gabe Lynn fills us in. Anthony. We'll check that Rogers. Ooh, got away with the travel there as he penetrated in the paint. Provenzano headmanning to JJ down the floor, and Pankratz is mugged at the end of the play. Trying to get back and prevent it there was number 42 Fuquan Niles. JJ Pankratz will head to the free throw line. JJ already a double-digit scorer in this game, the senior out of Yale Secondary in Abbotsford. Look at BC players who have come to this Clan program since their entry into the NCAA, and Pankratz easily the most accomplished of that group. What a career he's had, even though the Clan teams have struggled. Pankratz has been a leading light each season and really putting it together in his senior year. Knocks them both down from the free throw line. That lead is now 12 points. Hoisting a long distance three is Rogers. Loose ball though goes right to Central, and Sage Woodruff takes it hard to the basket. And is that going to be Provenzano? Indeed, it will be Michael Provenzano with the foul, and Mike's had a hard time getting going in this basketball game. His third of the game. 4:09 remaining. So Provenzano now with 3. He picked up 2 in the first half and was largely ineffective as he was sitting on the bench. But Provenzano had that one coast-to-coast move that we saw. We take a look at the Clan replay here. Provenzano getting called for the foul there. The rebound ripped out of the sky by Sherman Newsom. And number 20, Michael Provenzano, now coming back up the court. That's Rogers guarding him closely. Kadar Salam guarded by Montoya. Kadar crossover, jump shot falls! Kadar Salam on fire! A 15-point lead with 3:43 remaining. Kadar can do no wrong for Simon Fraser tonight. Great job there by Lewin to block it, but they find a way to get it underneath to Bryant, and he lays it up and in. Kadar Salam had zero real estate to work with. So much confidence right now. He makes a crossover move, rises, and knocks down the triple. He's got the ball again. Working off the Sherman Newsom screen and trying to turn a corner, and the foul is going to get called against Sage Woodruff. So Salam is affecting it wherever he goes right now. What a job Kadar Salam has done in this basketball game. Just tremendous play by the former UBC Thunderbird as we take a look on the replay. Kadar putting defenders in jeopardy with right now a level of confidence. You just watch him play and you know he is feeling it to the point where he feels he can affect the game at every turn. And as Salam drives to the basket, he draws the foul. Salam now with 34 points in this basketball game. He's 10 of 17 from the field, 6 of 8 from beyond the arc, and 8 for 8. And this is a guy who came in shooting 59% from the stripe. He's shooting 8 of 8 from the free throw line tonight, 5 rebounds to go along with a pair of steals and an assist. And when you consider the amount he's had the ball in this basketball game, the 3 turnovers really negligible in 36 minutes of play for Kadar Salam. What a basketball game he has had. JJ Pankratz with 12 as we take a look at another replay here. This is going to be the 3. As you see, the step back off the crossover against Sage Woodruff, and that is confidence to find right now for Kadar Salam. The lead, as we mentioned now, at 13 points. Back to live action, and Salam will line up from 15. Sage Woodruff with his 5th and disqualifying foul. And Salam now with 35 points in this basketball game. What a job by Kadar Salam. He has been on fire. 36 points. And the Clan have answered every pressure point in this basketball game through the first 37 minutes of play. A drive to the basket is not going to fall. They get a loose ball underneath, and that's what the Clan have given up a lot of tonight. Malik Montoya with a finish. But SFU has been guilty of giving up offensive rebounds and putbacks. There they came very aggressively at Michael Provenzano. And a tough night for Provenzano, number 20 with his 4th foul of the game. The Simon Fraser Clan have called a timeout. It's Simon Fraser 81, Central Washington 68. We'll take a short break as well and be back with the final stages of this basketball game from the West Gym on top Burnaby Mountain.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
We're back with you here at the West Gym. Just to pass on a quick score, Simon Fraser women with a 69-55 lead at Western Oregon. So the Clan women up by 14 with 4:50 remaining in the 4th quarter. So things looking good there for head coach Bruce Langford and company. Back to live action at the West Gym. A steal. The defense getting very aggressive here as Central tries to call what they can down the stretch drive. Sherman Newsom will get called for the foul. Not sure what the crowd was reacting to. Perhaps the fact that Mark Rogers was simply wanting to score the basketball after the play had been blown dead, but it took about 2 or 3 attempts and kept missing. So the crowd having a good time. Of course, Simon Fraser has struggled over the last few seasons. Great for the fans to hang in and see. The Clan put themselves in a pretty advantageous position here late in this basketball game. Of course, 2:24, a lot of things can happen, and Simon Fraser needs to keep that focus. A couple of misses there by Central Washington. Cameron Williams unable to score the basketball. Simon Fraser, physicality galore here. Well, half-court violation will turn the ball over, and Central's going to take possession of the basketball. Cameron Williams will inbound right in front of our broadcast location. Joanne Stepney now with the basketball. Stepney looking for Bryant going to the basket. Instead, they'll go to Rogers. Skip in the paint, and there's a reach for the basketball by Sherman Newsom. Foul being called against Mark Rogers, his 2nd of the game. So Simon Fraser again will try to bring the basketball across half court. Here they come. Full court pressure as Provenzano is fouled. Central Washington gives no quarter here. The final 2 minutes of play. As we mentioned, Northwest Nazarene will be in town on Saturday at Anampa, Idaho. They are playing at Western Washington against the conference-leading Vikings. And of course, Central will make the sojourn down to Bellingham to face the Vikings on Saturday. But we will have Simon Fraser and Northwest Nazarene men here, 7 o'clock Saturday from the West Gym. Hope you'll join us on Clan TV. Right down the floor and a layup there. Central wants a quick timeout off the basket by Jawan Stepney. We'll keep it here. And we'll take a trip down to Western Oregon to check in on the Wolves and the Simon Fraser Clan. 75-64, the score here with the Clan ladies, as you can see, with 1:40 left in this basketball game. Simon Fraser battling numbers as well on the women's side with their team. They have been playing with 8 players as well, as we see the guard Kendall Sands. Our short look there. The Clan ladies working hard to put a notch in the W column as they start a 2-game weekend swing. Back to live action here for the West Gym. 1:51 remaining as Provenzano barrels over half court, fouled again. There's a great amount of parity in this GNAC conference this season. And if you look at the standings with Western Washington on top, but there's a logjam of 2-2 and 1-3 teams, and these teams trying to define themselves here in the early going as Provenzano makes one from the free throw line. Simon Fraser would love to stand up and be counted among the contending teams in this conference. And certainly Steve Hansen has this team playing its best basketball since entering the NCAA. There's a jump shot, and it's going to go, and Sherman Newsom's going to get called for the foul, so the potential of 4-point play here for Montoya as he steps up to the free throw line. This is, take a look at the replay there as Sherman Newsom knew he had fouled Montoya, falling basically out of bounds after hitting a 3 from the baseline corner. Greg Sparling, the 24th year head coach here of the Wildcats, certainly managing the clock here and trying to chip away as he gets it down now to, oh, they missed the free throw. They have missed a lot of free throws down the stretch drive, and they will foul Kadar Salam, keeping it at 11 points with 1:38 remaining. So a parade to the free throw line here for the Clan down the stretch drive. A very astute point made by our producer Gabe Lynn off the top regarding the number of free throw trips the Simon Fraser Clan did not get against Seattle Pacific and how that needed to be remedied here tonight. And clearly Simon Fraser took that as a key. Be aggressive off the hop, and they did just that, as Salam has been outstanding here tonight. Is Salam at 38? What is he at now? Here's a jump shot, in and out. 38 points. We thank Steve Frost, the Clan Sports Information Director, seated to my left here courtside. Jump shot by Montoya. He's getting on a bit of a run. So what the Clan are doing right now is they're trading 2 free throws at a time for 3-pointers and hoping the clock doesn't run out on them. It's a 10-point gap right now. And Central playing the chess match here down the stretch drive with 1:21 remaining. Montoya is doing a great job because Central has left points on the floor from the stripe, but Montoya has hit a back-to-back threes. Malik Montoya, the 6'2 junior transfer out of Federal Way, Washington. Mark Rogers out there as well, trying to lead that group. Jawan Stepney as well. Number 11, Cam Williams, the freshman out of Los Angeles. And Bryant, Jerome Bryant, the 6'7 senior, also out of Los Angeles, on the floor right now for Central Washington. Jordan Muirkyung wearing number 5. JG Pancratz, number 22. Michael Provenzano, 20. Kadar Salam, number 11. And Tyrell Lewin, number 23. All on the floor right now for Simon Fraser. Pancratz to inbounds. Quickly to Salam. He crosses half court. Kadar rockets to the basket, lays it up and in. And Kadar Salam, what a huge game he's had here for the Simon Fraser Clan. Jump shot by Bryant. Loose ball available right underneath the basket. How did that happen? Bryant went right to his miss and puts it up and in to make it a 10-point game. And again, they will foul. This time it'll be Pankratz stepping up. So 40 points in this game now for Kadar Salam. We should let our listeners know the GNAC record for a single game is 50, but the Simon Fraser record in the GNAC is 46 by Songo Nyang, who, the talented point guard who graced this program a few seasons back. But that is the kind of performance, as Pankratz hits 2, that Kadar Salam has brought here tonight. 40 points for Kadar. What a great performance by number 11. 12-point lead under a minute remaining. Central, a miss there and a rebound by Pankratz, and they will hammer JJ. Pankratz just kind of steadying himself as he comes back up the court. Certainly this extends the time of the game. It's dragging on down here down the stretches. Central trying to do whatever they can by whatever means to gnaw away at this. Victories in the GNAC just too important to let slide here. Pankratz with the make. This turned out to be a pretty low-scoring game at the half. When you consider Simon Fraser had 33 points at the half, they've now got 91 after a miss there. Lockett at 13 points to lead here. Williams a skip pass on the baseline. Bryant with a jump shot in and out. And Sherman Newsom. So the Wildcats will finally call off the Dogs. And the Simon Fraser clan with Kadar Salam ball in hand. The final few seconds now set to tick away here at 26.7 seconds remaining. Simon Fraser ball. There's about 7.5 seconds difference between game and shot here as Pankratz will inbound with 19 left on the shot clock. Provenzano will hold it, will pivot, find his teammate Salam. Coach is imploring Kadar to put it on the floor. He's going to put up a long distance three, won't go there. And the rebound gobbled up by Stepney. 7 down to 6. Shot off the mark there, and this is one of the more impressive wins in the history of Simon Fraser's NCAA life. 91-78, the Clan are going to beat the Central Washington Wildcats. And a great job here by the guys in white at home, and Kadar Salam especially, with a 40-point effort here. 91-78 is the final score. Central falling to 2-3, their 4-game win streak snapped. Simon Fraser improving to 2-3 on the season. It's a different Simon Fraser Clan team as head coach Steve Hansen heads back down Media Row. What a great job by Coach as the Clan come away with a 13-point victory. We will be back with you on Saturday when the Clan face Northwest Nazarene at 7 o'clock. Until then, Howard Samura. Oh, I'm getting a note that we are actually going to get a post-game interview today. And it's going to be with none other than Kadar Salam. So we will steady ourselves and get ready for Kadar as he steps in here on Clan TV. And a terrific effort here. 40 points for Kadar Salam, and what an effort he had, especially in the second half of play. As we mentioned, Simon Fraser only had 33 points at the half. They finished with 91 here. Salam goes 12 of 12 from the free throw line and 6 of 9 from the arc. Kadar, congratulations on a terrific effort today. Just talk about how good the victory feels for you and your teammates.
I mean, it's good. I feel like we came out, we executed very well, and we did what we did, and we closed out pretty well.
What about the responsibility you take on your shoulders to be a scorer for this team, especially in the second half today?
I feel like I bring whatever is needed. You know, sometimes we got 3 seniors who are playing really well this year, and you know, sometimes it's gonna be me, sometimes it's gonna be Isaiah, sometimes it's gonna be JJ. You know, so sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Where does 40 points rank in your scoring history?
High school, I had a couple games. This is up there though. for sure.
And as well, not missing from the free throw line, that's got to be a point of pride for you to go 12 of 12 from the stripe today.
Oh man, I've been struggling this year at the line, for sure. The stats show, but that's not myself. I feel like it's a reflection of the work that I put in, and you know, sometimes stuff happens.
The last question: how happy are you with the response to losing a heartbreaker at Seattle Pacific and to come in with you guys for focus for a full 40 minutes?
I think it speaks to the character of our team. You know, consistency is a big thing. You know, and even when you're missing shots, if you're not playing well, you make mistakes, mental mistakes. It shows character when you're able to come back and do what you do and be consistent.
All right, Kadar, congratulations and thanks so much. Kadar Salam, Simon Fraser Clan, 40 points as the Clan come through with a 91-78 victory over Central Washington here tonight from the West Gym. As we were telling you, Northwest Nazarene will be in here on Saturday, a 7 o'clock tip here from the West Gym. Hope you'll join us then. Howard Samura for everybody on the Clan TV crew, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back with you again on Saturday.